go.
Okay, all right. Hello, everybody. We made it.
Hello.
Okay. Well, we have Jen and Lisa both with us today. That's pretty neat. And
Hi, guys.
we got Andrew today because Andrew and Jen are going to give us a update on what's been happening in California. But before we get rolling on that, I want you to watch this real quick. Hope it plays through without getting stuck. You know what this is?
Yeah.
Air Force One.
That's
Going
Air
to
Force
Daytona.
One. Going
Daytona
over the
500,
Daytona
baby.
500.
With 800 feet above sea
This
level.
guy
Well, I'm joined now by the President of the United States. Mr. President, 5 years ago, we were standing in this race.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's great for the country. Our country is doing well again, and we have spirit all over the world. There's spirit again. We brought it back, and it's been less than 4 weeks. So you'll see what we do in a little period of time. It's going to only get better, but this is very exciting.
You brought your granddaughter. I know some of your other family members are here. You get to take a ride around in the Beast. What is that like?
I'll let you know in about 2 minutes because it's going to.
Yeah, look at
They
this.
expected the arrival of President Trump. We showed you Air Force One, his motorcade,
The Beast
here
is
at
on the loose.
Daytona International Speedway. Maybe hop in, take him around the Speedway, 2.5 miles for just a few before we get started. If Jamie Little gets through security, she'll be able to talk with him coming up here in just a moment. All right. Meanwhile, long shot. That's under.
What president has ever done something like that? That is just unbelievable. You know,
Trump
takes a
1.0
flight
did
around the
that.
track.
Hey, he's
Big
earned
old
it.
plane.
He has earned it.
America's
Reagan
back,
had
baby.
been there
Yeah.
before. Reagan had been.
Yeah. So this week's been something else. I mean, have you been keeping up with all that cyber stuff, Lisa, on the what's happening in DC?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like
it's great.
where is it? I've got that. I've actually got that. It's called Bleach Bit. It's that software. That's what
I saw you
basically
had that on your screen, your opening screen there.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, we got to talk about this.
That grabbed
let's
my
see.
attention right away.
Yeah.
like wiping it with a
let's
cloth.
Yeah,
show
exactly.
this.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody gets to know that we got Hector out there, we got Riders, and we got Rich out there. Hey, guys,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Great to see you guys.
Much appreciated.
Yes, and we have a lot to bring up here. I know.
Let me
I
bring
don't
this
know
up.
how to start this off, Dave. So I'll let Jess start it off with what's going on, what she knows about.
Okay, well let me get back to this topic. We'll do that right after we show this. I want you guys to watch this guy.
Okay.
I was talking about Google Trends. I have a tweet out there that's literally, I think, being seen by all of Twitter. But if you search criminal defense attorney, the number one place that's being searched right now is Washington, D.C. by a factor of 3.5 times higher than the next state. And all of those searches started on about January 28th. And that's when the news that Trump was focusing on all of these FBI agents that were going after January 6 people. So here's the thing. It's like all we've seen is accountability being brought, like potential criminal accountability being brought to just the FBI. And already it was enough to boost nationwide searches for criminal defense attorneys. So they're not going to be able to escape this thing. And it's like, I guess we'll see how desperate they get. But it's so transparent. Now, here's my concern is that this is all coming to light on Twitter. And a lot of people are on Twitter, and Twitter is a very effective way of disseminating true information now. It has gone beyond news. It's not news. It's not a talking head telling you what to think. It's literally people engaged in real-time discussion in order to figure out what's true or not. And the information velocity happening right there is very rapid. Like, people are very fast able to debunk things, rebrand things, reframe things faster than the blob can keep up with now.
Yeah, so that's just criminal lawyers being looked up. But this week, the top trend was the bleach bit, which is, let me see, right here.
It's what
It's
Hillary
the
Clinton used.
it's the top trending search in Washington, D.C. So if you guys don't know what this is, it's a software that scrubs your hard drives to the point where, well, they actually say that this is the software that they used for the 31,000 emails that Hillary got taken care of.
Back in 2016.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of funny that this trend has just ballooned and taken off. I see William popped in there. Hey, William.
Hey, William.
Hey, what's going on? Howdy, everybody.
We got everybody today.
Yeah, is that Andrew? Wow. Let's see. Oh, they've got Andrew. They like the shirt. What's up, Lisa? How you doing, Jen? John, and can I take a second? Hey, Stormbringer and Richard and Hector and all you wonderful people. Thank you for being here.
Dave, I'd like to add to that though.
Yeah.
This is a great trend. Everybody should be super excited about this.
I know.
Because it means that they are
couldn't
scared
contain
out of
myself.
their mind. I know. I love it. They are terrified. And the good news is it doesn't. You can use BleachBit, but I think, as we all know, with you brought up Hillary's emails, it's not always gone forever.
Yeah, because those emails
I know.
somebody. So
But-
every server along the way, and the recipient, of course.
Exactly.
All right, who's starting off here, Dave?
Okay, well now I'll let
the
Californians start talking about what the heck is happening out there. The whole state is washing into the ocean. It's sliding.
Oh my goodness, we got
Off their
0.7
hills.
inches of rain.
The beaches haven't been cleaned up since the fires.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, well, it's absolutely nuts. That's all stuff going on in Southern California. Of course, we had the huge fires, and then now we had this atmospheric river that hit us. In Rosamond, we get maybe an inch of rain a whole year. We got 0.7 inches in one day. And if that's what we got closer to the coast in the Palisades, I don't know exactly how much they got, but it was a lot. And just, adding insult to injury to those poor folks that are out there. And yeah, there's a lot of crazy wealthy people that it's not going to matter a hill of beans, but there's a good number of people who that is their only home. They may have, bought that home 30, 40 years ago when it wasn't a multi-million-dollar home. And now what are they going to do? I hear that they did suspend the suspension of insurance. So if they were one of the people that were canceled from insurance within the last 6 months, I heard that Newsom said, nope, you can't cancel it. You got to cover them. So hopefully that will help people. But honestly, when it's that much damage, I don't really know how you can just sit around and wait and not find another place to plant your family while you're waiting for everything to get back in order. But that is like the least of California problems though right now. Yeah. They just found out that $9.5 billion of California's general fund was going to illegal medical coverage for illegal aliens in California. That's about, I think, 36% of the entire budget of the general fund for California. It's insane. Plus, they Trump-proofed California by providing an additional $25 million to aid.
50.
Well, total 50. 25 million was specifically for illegal aliens for their defense, and then the other 25 million is for the lawmakers that are no doubt going to get sued, just like is going on over in New York with Lolita James and Governor Hochul, and apparently not Mayor Adams, because hopefully he's playing ball. He knows where the bodies are buried. Well, I think, I'm not sure why they decided to go with New York first rather than California, but I'm hoping California is going to decide they are going to need to play ball, because $25 million legal defense is going to be nothing, and Trump is going to get his way. They got Pam Bondi. They got everybody so far as he's been getting. They're going to get Kash Patel, and we need to straighten out California.
Andrew, I have a question for you, hon. What's the latest thing have you heard about this latest recall?
The recall had to have, I think you only needed like 50 signatures to start the process.
Right.
They got way more than that. And so I believe the process has started. We had a number of signature places around my town for the first recall. That was actually the very first time I was an election poll worker, was during the recall. So I'm definitely on the lookout for when they start having those petitions to sign here. But the process has started, but we need to get, I think we have 160 days to get the required signatures. And I think it's only like 1.5 million. We've got a total of 39 million people in California. Roughly half of that are registered voters. So we only need 1.5 million registered voters to sign that petition so that we can have that recall happen.
Yeah, well, I heard Soros was going to squash that anyway.
Well,
Soros has gotten a lot of his money taken away now recently, hasn't he? Have you noticed that the Tesla protests have been rather anemic because the rent-a-mobs have lost their funding?
Exactly.
Well, rent-a-mob, yeah, I love that.
Okay.
What else you got going there, Andrew? Out there, mudslides?
Jennifer, she caught up with me on the recall, because I've been hearing rumors, that they already squashed the recall. That can't be right.
That's what I said. Soros money.
So I'm kind of glad to hear, Jennifer's side of the story. I believe.
Well, I hope that's the case. I'll do some research here, but that's the last I heard on it.
Yeah, because over here, honestly, Jennifer, in Fresno over here, there's nothing. It's quiet. No paper. Nobody's out there, asking for a petition, to sign anything or nothing, And that's what I was going to ask you too. Where do I go for somebody to sign up?
Well, it says Newsweek, Mel Gibson joins the Gavin Newsom recall effort.
Yeah.
Well,
if we got some big names
on
like
that Hollywood crew. Yeah.
Oh, hey, one more question. I'm sorry. I'm the one to ask questions. Hey, did you hear about that pier? Was that Monterey Pier?
Yeah.
That went off into the ocean. Can you believe it? A big pier like that?
That's crazy, because I used to live there and I used to walk up and down that pier with my dog, and
beautiful over
that's
there.
Just like a little tiny fishing pier, guys. I mean,
yeah. Hey, they got good food over there, though. That's what I like.
Oh my God, amazing food! Yeah.
I used to.
I've been on top and underneath it, and I used to be amazed. I would say to myself, "God, I'm surprised this hasn't washed out, or
as old
with
as
the
it
storms and stuff." Well, I guess it finally did.
That part of the bay right there gets hammered by the storms.
Yeah. What happened with those ion battery that PG&E was supposed to be storing for the cars? Have you guys heard anything about that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you had to let it burn. You had to let it burn because they couldn't put it out.
Well, it takes tens of thousands.
Oh, you told? Oh, yeah. I heard about that. That big. It's like a It's a storage facility for electrical power where the solar panels all charged. It's like a big battery thing, and it caught fire magically. And dude, what a wonderful thing they couldn't bring fire trucks in because they didn't pass the emissions quality, but yet and there's nothing you can do to put these batteries out. They're really they say when you put water on them, it makes them get even hotter because they short. The water causes a shorting.
Oh yeah,
And
additional shorting, yeah.
Yep, and so
you're right.
But
You're
imagine being.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and imagine being a firefighter spraying water on it. That electricity is going to come back at you, so you just can't do it. There's no way you can do it. So they have to because if you're holding a fire hose with water coming out of it, now you're a part of the conductor.
That's right.
And
I got a little bit more update on that if you don't mind. It's just that to the
people,
that lives around the area, they're suing the city because the smoke that they inhaled and all the carbon that came down on the ground, and I guess people were drinking it too, but their food and everything, the people are literally suing the city now.
Because they need to.
I agree.
They do.
And PG&E needs to be held responsible for this too, because it was their warehouse, public gas and electricity. It was their warehouse or abandoned utilities, whatever. It was their house, and they just say, "Hey, go ahead, no problem, Mr. Newsom. Take what you want." It's a mess. It's a big mess.
Yeah, you guys have got corruption on all levels there, and it's just absolutely terrifying. But the good thing is that it's being brought forward, and unfortunately in bad ways, and that's what I don't like about it. But you have to remember too. I've been talking to some friends and stuff, and up in the Topanga area, their biggest concerns right now are the aliens that are there, and if it's intentional or if it's not, because that's a scary thought right there. You guys have let in so many bad people, and I think we're seeing some of those activities play out. The Mother Nature thing, of course not.
Well, the history of Karen Bass. That she has connections to Cuba.
What do they call that? She's a communist radical. Exactly. Yeah. I know.
As to whether it's on purpose or not, I would say yes, it's absolutely on purpose. But I hope that President Trump
for an emergency,
give an inch on his demand for one-day voter voting with voter ID.
And that is the way that we got to clean it up.
Yeah.
And if you have an emergency or if you need to make your call, you go to a website to your URL.
Yep. Okay, one more question, girls.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about?
Huh?
I didn't quite.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. The Karen Bass addresses all these people in her district about when the fires came through, and she tells everybody to go to the website.
Go to the URL,
she's like, if you got a claim and you got an issue such and such, go to the website, go to the URL, and then the microphone squeal. It's like, is she that stupid?
Worthless. Yes, she is. That's the problem. She's that stupid.
By the way, Jennifer, what's going on with Bass? Have they got a recall on her yet?
On her, I don't know. She's out of my area, so I haven't been keeping an eye on her.
I'm sure she's.
I heard there was a poll.
Huh? I
heard there was a poll taken where it was still like 43% people, like 43% still approved of her. I heard there was a poll where 43% of Los Angeles constituents still approved of Karen Bass. I was like, what?
Polls can be rigged.
Yes, exactly.
That's what's funny about Donald Trump's numbers. Donald Trump numbers are up, and these are on leftist people who do leftist, media that do oversampled polls and still can't get a negative number on Trump. It's actually up.
I think he's breaking records.
Yep.
I love it. And these Democrats, their brains are blowing up. They can't handle it.
It's a beautiful thing.
I love it. I'm
4 weeks, man.
John, ¿qué pasa, my brother?
Are you going to say anything, John?
Definitely going to say everything. Like I said, I'm sitting back just amazed at what's going on out there in California. Literally.
Oh.
I mean, we've all known that Newsom. I mean, I still remember pretty much one of the first few times I ever heard his name was dealing with the French Laundry. And I thought to myself, are you kidding me? I just, it's just like, here's the governor of the state doing this. And then that's absolutely nothing compared to what he's done. That's mild. That's not even really recognizable anymore. The guy is definitely a fruit salad. But one thing that I do want to point out about this is that maybe most everybody should know this. If you don't, you'll learn something new. It goes back to the Pelosi family. Nancy Pelosi, they're from Baltimore, Maryland. This is the Baltimore crime syndicate.
The
Go
mob.
back in time. Now you transfer Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi out to California, and what do you have? You've got two more people that are tied into this. Gavin Newsom is her nephew. And guess what? A lot of people don't know this. Kathy Hochul is her niece.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
The governor of New York is Nancy Pelosi's niece. Now do you
All of
see
the
why they went
families
after-
and the money.
And what's Nancy doing right
so
now?
in other words, why the big attacks were done in New York? Plain and simple.
Well, who's Nancy grooming right now?
Unbelievable.
John?
AOC.
Her daughter. Her daughter's being groomed to take her place.
Oh, her daughter, the one that captured her, admitting that it was her fault.
Right,
Her
that's
daughter.
right.
She's
That's
still
right.
in the good graces
That's
after that.
Yeah, you would think.
Those families are a little bit not right. So.
William Miller, you're as handsome as ever, brother. Did you know
Thank you, sir.
Did you know I sent you a picture of your brother, man?
No.
William. Hello? Hello?
Who was that?
I'm here. My signal's really bad.
Oh, okay, never mind. No, William, I
My
missed
signal.
you.
I'm running dollar.
While.
I'm running dollar store internet today, so we'll just have to kind of roll with it.
You're cheating on their Wi-Fi next door.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well-
dude. No, I didn't get that picture yet.
Yes, I sent you that picture. Remember?
No, everything runs
No,
together.
I'll send it to you again. It looks. It's a spitting image of you, man. Handsome
We can
as
have
hell.
two of you. We cannot handle two Williams.
I had a commenter in one of my YouTube videos saying I look like a discount. What's that MMA fighter, Chuck Liddell? I was like, damn.
That wasn't nice.
I mean, I'm fine. I'm thick-skinned, so it didn't bother me. I was like, no. Like, no, not discount. I was like, I said economy version.
Oh, jeez. Real quick, I want to just bring up one thing. Going back to Pelosi, though, the San Francisco AG years back was Jason Bourdain. I think Bourdain. He is related to the Weather Underground, which, if anybody wants to look it up, go back. They are the ones who actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word, but set something off at the Capitol years ago, and they are extremely activist. I'm trying to choose my words, Dave. Sorry. Into activism, and that will even go back to Obama.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So this is all.
Yeah, one of his
a big
mentors
mob.
was into that.
Hey, does anybody remember whenever there was some of the beginning first assault weapon bans by the Clinton administration, and prior to that, there was a man that managed to get over the fence in the White House with an with an SKS pistol grip, and then without any Secret Service, he scales the fence thing, goes up, which I guess at the time wasn't that bit tall, but either way, I mean, isn't it 100 yards from the fence to the White House or so? I mean, that's a football field. He gets all the way to the White House door and shoots up the front of the place, and then finally gets taken out. And then it's time for the assault weapon. I was like, okay.
What about the poor guy that set
of,
himself on fire on the White House lawn? I mean, that's just
anybody that sets themselves on fire. I have a hard time saying poor guy. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't care if you're mentally ill or whatever. When you go home and you set yourself on fire, I'm not really. This may be wrong in some people's eyes, but I'm like, come on, man. I mean,
that was funny.
Yeah.
How about that plane flying in on the lawn? I think it was a one-man plane. Remember that one?
Oh my gosh, that was a while ago. Yeah.
The guy just flew in right there in the White House. Here I am. Then they catch him. How did he get over there from the beginning? And I think he was he worked for the U.S. Post Office too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Man, people don't go postal anymore like they used to. I wonder what they did there.
What for? They got internet.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's weird. But that was a thing. I don't know if they were, if that was their first beta test on radio frequencies that were subconscious, and they were blasting them in people at post office. But used to have a dude go postal all the time, and that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So William,
hey, check this out.
You got something queued up. There you go.
Yeah, it's just. I was like, something that was ironic. It's a little bit old and dated because it happened with Cindy Cohen. But Sheryl Crow, donates her Tesla and then gives the money to NPR in a protest, right? And if anybody knows Sheryl Crow, she got her fame because she was in a band called Tuesday Night Music Club, and she ends up getting approached by a certain talent agent, and then decides to break away from the band, stole all their material, named the album Tuesday Night Music Club, and actually one of the band members was so depressed and so distraught because I think they were sort of a relationship at the time, and she just up and left and pulled away like that he ended up deleting himself. So one of the band members deletes himself, steals all the music, then makes hits out of the song, doesn't give any of the proceeds to the band. You know who that talent agent was? Check this out. Wait a minute, let me show you. Check this out. Bam! Look at that right there.
No,
y'all see that?
Other than, yeah.
Look at there. Look at that right there. There. Imagine that. Imagine that. Don't it? There you go. She used to be in a relationship. Yeah, and she used to be in a relationship with that. I mean, he was a good musician, but that terrible leftist. What's his name? Eric Clapton. He is a major flaming leftist. But sort of awake now because he got really injured by the Fauci sauce. For a long time, he couldn't even play guitar, and he's not even himself anymore. But she was actually doing him a long time ago. But that's just a little something I ran across and thought that it would be kind of interesting to put out there, and some of the history of how Sheryl Crow came to fame, how she rode on the coattails of actually talented musicians. Because after the Tuesday Night Music Club came out, the album, her 3 or 4, 5 or 6 hits that they could squeeze out of it because mainstream media pushed her forward because she was banging Weinstein at the time, who, by the way, Newsom's wife. History with Weinstein. Anyways, long story short, there you go. That's all I'm going to say. So there's our weekly current event update. Bam. Okay.
Yeah, it's all incestuous. Very nicely.
Right. Yeah, you've had quite a week, William. I mean, I've been watching your shows. You've been on fire this week.
Yeah.
Hard to keep up with you. And to keep in mind that you're working on stuff and you're doing the Will Fix It channel. It's like, oh my God.
And you have a family.
I get tired just thinking about how you're doing all this.
Yeah, dude, really. You know why I was a few minutes late getting here? I've actually added to the collection of motors that you're going to see some more videos coming out on Will Fix It. But my wife and I just drove it was like 100 plus miles. We took my old 76 Ford, picked up a 1930s Novo hopper cooled, big huge 6 horsepower Novo engine from the 30s, and it's in mint condition. We went and picked it up, and we've been on the road since 11 o'clock this morning. Just pulled in the driveway. It was 5:58 when I was like, let me run in the house, see if I can catch David then before it gets too late. So I did pretty good today.
Wow.
You're a whirlwind.
Hey, I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and it's always great to have the girls on here. I like Jennifer and I like Lisa. John
just likes the girls. John.
Hey, I have one more question before before anything else here. Jennifer, Lisa, I got the wind that they're shutting the water off again up here. And also the people down in LA who got burned out, and, their properties aren't being paid for. The cities, the state's ready to scoop it up. Is that true?
Yep.
the state's ready to what?
Scoop
up those properties. Yeah,
the land.
I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, as I was saying, when you've got that much devastating, if you've got, a couple houses in a neighborhood that are destroyed, no problem. You can go ahead and get 3 or 4 bids from different contractors and decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and build, and you can have your new house within a couple years. When you've got 10,000, 12,000 units that are gone, everything's going to be ballooned in price because your supply and demand has just gotten totally out of whack.
Kind of a
if I were one of them, I would probably sell. I would be like, give me my payout. I'm going to Texas.
Yeah, it's so devastating too. It's so devastating too that people, I think, mentally can't handle it. It's a lot for them, and they have to keep going, and they have kids and families that depend on them, and sometimes it's easier just to walk away from it, and you don't want people to leave a community because communities are what you want, but I do know that at least in the Topanga area, that land has been landed that they've wanted for a while, and they are talking to people, and it's harder for them to get help, especially because they're up on a mountain. It's not flat, so costs are higher. Different equipment has to be brought in. And as far as the water goes, all I gotta say about that is I would look into the Pritzkers.
I'm out of this.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. That 60% of the water is owned by those people. Yeah. And then there was something else. It was the water, and then there was something else I was going to ask. Oh well, I forgot now. Oh well. The water.
Well, the real sad thing is they're not allowing the people in on their own property because they're saying there's hazardous waste, melted things that are all hazardous, and you can. There's still things of value left, even though fire burns clear to the ground. I mean, I know that firsthand. My daughter.
You should say, "I'm coming here to loot. I'm coming here to loot, guys. I'm going to go steal stuff." Yeah, go on in. Go ahead. Go on in there. Okay, good.
Well, that's the thing. There's people that can go through that stuff and find. My daughter found her engagement ring and so forth. It survived the fire in the ashes. Stuff like that.
All your Snap-on tools.
Yeah. But if you can't go in there for 6 months and you just can't hire anybody to come in and clean, it has to be approved by the local government that they have hazmat rating and all that stuff. And then who's going to go through that stuff to see if you can come when we get it cleaned up. Well, wait a minute, it'll be too late for that kind of stuff. So that's
the EPA is in there. The EPA is literally in there going house to house. And I think a majority of it, you have to remember the electric cars. A lot of people in California own electric cars, and we were just talking about their batteries and that fire and that, I think that's the excuse they're using for the hazard. Not that it's not, but I think it can get iffy, and each case is different. So
it almost sounds like they're trying to cover up arson.
Yes, I mean, and that's what I mean. I'm sorry, my opinion is that we have a lot of bad actors that were brought in, and Soros, just like he can pay people to protest, he can pay people to do anything he wants. So I'm not saying in every case, but I think all cases need to be looked at because there were different fires in different areas for different reasons. And we can't just, lump them all together because I don't think that that's what's absolutely going on everywhere. But if that's the case,
ironic. They did in Hawaii. They wouldn't let nobody in. They wouldn't let anybody go in, drone foot, no nothing, because they were like, but really, what boiled down to whenever people went in, they would notice really strange looking sights of how things like, blue roofs, everything blue survived. This is kind of weird. And, and then they were like, look at this. Looks like a streak of fire that was like, almost looks like somebody took a really high powered light and went right across something. Like, what is this? And so you get too much of that, and it really gets people asking questions. So we need to hurry up and get the EPA in there to clean it all up. Almost like whenever the almost like what building was it that caught fire because it was they were hauling it away while it was still on fire back in the 90s. What was that? Remember that? Gosh, it was some kind of government. It was some kind of government building, and it's supposedly it was not the Twin Towers, but something else government building wise that had sensitive documents in it. I can't remember what it was now, but it had caught somebody in the comment section will remember this. But while it was still on fire, before it was even anything investigated, everything was hauled away, thrown in dumpsters, and hauled down the road, still on fire. Like, hurry and get this all out before people get in.
It's a cover up.
Yeah.
Well, communities need.
Yeah. I found a article that claims that 80% of downtown LA fires are caused by homeless individuals, and in the county overall as a whole it is well over 40%. The last I heard, and it's probably even more than that. But that is nuts. And there's nothing about that budget I was telling you about, that California is like $30 billion a deficit. There's nothing in their budget about addressing the root cause of homelessness at all.
It's the easy way for them to cover up whatever they want. And maybe
it's a good campaign thing to talk about. But really, is there a cure to it? I don't know. I mean, you'd have to separate the people that
stop paying people to be homeless. Stop giving them money to be homeless.
A lot of them are probably illegal, so you can get rid of the illegals, send them back to their own country to be illegal, to be homeless in. And another huge percentage of it is drug use. And then another huge percentage of it is mental illness.
We need mental facilities again. That are humane.
Be the biggest step. But then there's a whole group. There's a whole group, because I know we used to do outreaches, and we'd feed people out in the park and so forth, and we literally had people coming from other communities once they heard about the free food on particular days, and I would talk to some of them were very articulate, and you would ask them questions. Well, what happened? Why are you homeless? And there's a lot of them says, I just don't want anybody telling me what to do or what I got, they're just anti-socialist, type mentality, but they like to be out there doing their own thing. And so they've actually got it down the way they know each day where they can go to get food, they can get blankets and, stuff for when it gets cold. The only time you ever hear an outcry of trying to get a roof over their head is during bad weather and so forth. But while we were doing it, we had people actually, like I said, traveling from the next city over, so they would all kind of show up all at one time, and like, whoa. So I don't know what the real answer is to all that.
I think Trump is.
It's human nature. Not everybody's the same. You got to quit putting people in the same box. Some people just choose to be that way, and if they want to be homeless, just let them be homeless. But the thing is, be like, you just can't give them everything, and then that makes them.
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Yeah. Because there's so many groups giving and helping, which I get it. I get the, we need to do something. We need to help, but we're doing it the wrong way. It's
you rehabilitate
fish for one day, you feed them for one day, but you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. That's the mentality.
Sometimes you just gotta teach them the Coach Stinnett way from that movie Ernest Goes to Camp, where you just throw the boy in the water and hope for the best. In other words, no blankets, no food. Get your ass off my property. And they're like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I don't know. Most people figure out a way to put a roof over their head. I guess you could do that. I know. And then, then they want to keep talking junk. You just say, well, here's a book of people who need you to go to work. And so, then if they choose to just, I don't know. I mean, really, to be honest with you, 90% of the people never provide for themselves until they're complete fish out of water. You have to put them in desperate situations. And as long as they don't have that. Yeah. And it's sad. But then, this bleeding is. Yeah, the bleeding heart liberals, are just, and thing is like once they see a bleeding heart liberal, they latch onto them like a mother with their titty hanging out, ready to suck on that thing. And I'm telling you this right now, you take the titty away, that the kid starts eating solid food. Simple as that.
That's why California is spending $9.5 billion on the medical care for illegals, is because we started doing it at all.
Yeah.
All of a
Yeah.
sudden now we are the magnet. When you are providing all of this stuff, you become the magnet. Why do you have so much homelessness? Because you are helping so much, because you are providing so much free stuff. And
You can thank your state governments for that.
Well, you know, in California, there's what was that? Down by Santa. No, I can't think. It's near Anaheim. There was that city that just they had programs, and they had big outreaches. Big churches were setting up these food programs and so forth. And the same thing happened. They all migrated to the city because there was so much help.
Yep.
And then finally, the city had to crack down on the people helping. And of course, there was a bunch of hoopla about, you're not letting us do our ministry, and that kind of stuff. But it really became real bad, where there was, the people out there, along the courthouse and so forth. There's feces all over the sidewalk. They literally had to come in.
Don't forget about the
pressure wash
taxpayer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, question.
Go ahead.
One more for the girls. I got one for Slim Jim. Girls, what about the people whose houses have burned down? They're getting any help at all? Rent, food, anything?
I have no idea. If it's anything like happened in Maui, they got $700 and
$750. Here you go.
$750.
Have a nice life.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. They're giving them some amount, and that's it.
I think communities are trying to bond together. I know Topanga had up at there's a general store up there. They had people brought clothes and stuff like that to try to help.
Yeah, I heard a lot.
But as far as hearing about anything official, no, not even insurance companies paying out anything yet.
Rumors, just rumors. Not putting no foot on it, but the thing is, last I heard, that people are getting evicted out of rentals now.
Yep. They can't go to work because their business burnt down, but they're getting evicted.
Now they're getting evicted out of rentals, yet these illegals are allowed to stay where they're at, getting served hand and foot. What kind of BS is that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want to know where's the AG
rent
at.
value just went up through the roof.
Yeah.
So if you can legally evict someone, well, then guess what? The next person who comes in, there's a new market rate for rent right now.
And when we ain't got no house on the property is going to go for dirt cheap.
Yep.
So,
and you got to remember, where's your AG? That's who I would be putting the pressure on right now, because they're the top law enforcement officer of California and are there to legally protect Californians. I mean, I love
too male, too pale, too stale.
Yeah.
Too soy.
Too male, too pale, too stale. That's what Letitia James says about Trump.
Yeah.
It's sad. He's more worried about those attorneys fighting Trump than anything else. They know Trump is coming. He's going to come. He's going to hit him with a bunch of crap. And I think Trump is just waiting for the best is last. I think waiting to come down on Newsom. I think he will.
Well,
but he's counting on
you have to build a plan.
Too. Yeah.
Trump is
it's not going to be small.
Something. He's not. The reason why you don't see all this stuff happening, there's steps. First, you got to pull the money away from these people so they can't. When they defend themselves, they have to use their own money like Trump did.
Yeah.
He's negotiating.
And let's see how.
Well,
he's getting.
Yeah, go ahehead. I'm sorry.
He's getting people. He's bringing people over on his side. That's another thing. He's taking enemies and bringing them over. But like Eric Adams is a good example. I seen that coming from several months ago. But and there's still some disagreements between Homan and Eric Adams about the sanctuary thing and illegals and all that. But that'll be all hammered out little by little. I think that Eric Adams isn't making a complete turn because he's trying to make it look legitimate to his constituents. But I don't think Eric Adams actually understands his constituents, because he could make that complete 180 turn and people would get okay with it. But I think he's just doing it politically safe. That's the reason why he said, well, we don't want crime, we don't want offenders, but we still want to be a sanctuary state for people, because that's how New York is a melting pot. I remember him saying that. But I really think it's just him politically making steps in another direction, distance himself, understanding that the machine that he thought was going to be the way to, he was with the cabal. He was headed that direction. He realized that's not going to work. And by the way, before my internet took a dump, and I was like, say something. I was like, California has taxpayer-funded poop maps. And that's what I was saying before my internet took it.
If that doesn't wake up these people in California, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
over here is where the poop.
Didn't I see William? Didn't you post something about what was it, cocaine or something on a traffic stop? I saw something.
Oh, on my Twitter, it was methamphetamine.
Yeah,
it was probably in like a big ass van, like one of those big like 18 looking vans, and it was like, or U-Haul. It could have been in the U, or what kind of no, it was a Ryder truck. It was the same Ryder truck that Timothy McVeigh was using when he. Yeah.
And I think they stopped the truck right in front of Lisa's house too.
Yeah, they were like, yeah. I noticed Lisa's looking a little sleepy today. I don't know what's going on there, but
I don't know. I think I'd have more energy than I do right now.
Oh, you're right. Oh, one more question. Lisa, Jennifer, what do you think is going to happen with the CPUC?
What is
Public
the CPUC?
Utility Commission?
That's right.
Okay, no idea, but CARB definitely needs to be disbanded.
Why do you ask, Andrew?
They raised the rates of people 6 to 8 times last year.
Wow.
Well, so
they allowed PG&E to raise their rates that many times.
Mm-hmm.
What good?
I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
What good is the CPUC? They're there to protect the people and help the people, but they're allowing the utility companies to go.
They're not. That's
crazy.
That's the problem.
I just went through a court hearing with one here in Texas, and we were fighting the local water department because they wanted the rates are crazy high. The water is really crappy. I mean, it barely runs clear. They're wanting to raise the rate that's privately owned because it's a small area that it's governed by certain rules. If it's 449 customers or less, if they break 500, then they're not subject to it. So a bunch of people got together, and so I joined part of that, and we went through the court thing, and it's almost like everybody sent in their opinion on what's going on and how bad the water is, and they literally charge if you have your water shut off. And you like say you own the property and there's no house on it, but you have a water meter, you have to pay every single month for that meter to sit there. Yep. Right?
Oh, dude, that's everywhere. That's like that. It's in North Carolina like that.
And they don't supply the water meter. You have to buy the water meter. You have to pay to get it put in. You have to pay for the permit. And then once it's hooked up, it becomes theirs.
And then they can charge you for it, even if there's nothing going through it.
Nothing going through it, not even a building hooked up to it yet.
Yep.
That's robbery.
Yeah, I know. And so, but the PUC, they heard all the arguments and went to court, and they requested him to give some kind of breakdown and so forth. But what it boiled down to, just like what Andrew was saying, is it's like they didn't do anything. They were just like, oh, okay, well, if that's what you need, they kind of signed off. I'm like, what the hell was all the court and all the arguing about if you were just going to sign off without any explanation or proof? Because we wanted to see the receipts. We wanted to see, well, why does it cost so much for such a bad service?
That's why they signed off on it.
They wanted to raise the rates.
Bingo.
I think every time that happens, they need to send a contingent of Doge to go in there and look at everything. I want to tell you an example. I had some relatives that had a financial crunch, and they wanted to borrow some money so that they wouldn't be evicted.
Right.
Kids are involved. All right. This is not where you say,
oh no.
You're
on
your
no. You should have talked to me. I'd have told you how to handle that. You were like,
this is how we handled it.
Okay.
We wanted to look at all of their expenses for the last year.
Right.
And we wanted to then make a plan as to how we can go moving forward. Did they have first of all, they had enough money coming in, but they had some bumps in the road with some car problems that they didn't tell us about, tried to take care of it on their own. That kind of snowballed. Then they got the bright idea of payday loans.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'm going to borrow $500 and then I'm going to pay $100 a month for the next half a year and wind up paying 580%.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's by looking through everything, of course, all the times at the eating out and subscription services that you forget about. Well, that's what they need to do for these public utilities. This is what they need to do for the water bill. This is,
it's an audit. Yeah.
If it's an audit in the federal government, you need to do it for California. Why the heck are we spending so much money? And they just raised the rates of sales tax again. The county directly below us, or the town directly below us, I'm in Rosamond. There's nothing really here. Our sales tax rate is 8.75. It used to be 7.25, but we wanted to add an extra 1.5% so that we could take care of public utilities or safety and things. But I still haven't seen anything. Anyhow,
what did it do? Yeah,
down in Lancaster, where all the shopping and everything is, they've raised it from 10.25 to 11.25. 11.
Where's that money going? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big movement of transparency and showing the public the receipts, because I think the Doge thing is going to be starting to set
something can be cut. You don't need to be spending that much money. Now Elon Musk came out and said eliminate the property tax. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, here in Harris County, it's holy crap.
I heard
to Texas, yeah, it's crazy.
This past week, I've heard that everything's going well. I listened to Carl DeMaio, and something, he's spot on everything, pretty much.
Yes,
I like him, but he says, "Look out, since they're not going to receive any more federal money in the state. They're raising rates on everything, taxes on the house, food." Gas, cigarette, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, but nothing's being cut.
All for what? These illegals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. This is where I think we're circling back to Trump, though.
All right, Jen. Circle back, Jen.
Sorry.
Yeah. Every time I hear the circle.
I'm sorry.
As soon as I hear a politician say, "Well, we're going to have to circle back," that's who I think.
Sorry.
Back, guys. Circle back.
Anyway, I think Trump is saying, to Gavin, like, look, he's trying to negotiate with him, and he's trying to do it. I call it walk lightly but carry a big stick.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's doing, but it's coming, whether Gavin likes it or not. It's coming. And,
I don't care what anybody says or whatever they do. Bass and also Newsom, they're done. They're finished. They're
getting
exposed. It's a matter of time. They're done.
Yeah, but where you guys need to come in is in your communities. You need
it's rough out there.
I agree.
You really need to stand up for your own. I tried to do an interview, but you just
it's getting rough at the Taco Bell.
John, you've been real quiet in the corner over there. What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, he's giving job interviews now and asking people to touch him. Was that John that gave you that interview, Michigan Fielder? Because I'm just wondering.
I'm not touching this at all.
Anywho. Thank you, folks, for bearing with my questions. I appreciate that. I really do.
We love you, Andrew.
Just hang in there. Hang in there.
Yeah, we're trying.
Keep standing up as much as you can. Keep fighting back. Do what you know is right, and that's how we get everything fixed.
I've been trying to find the information to sign, the recall, but I don't know where. Except on Carl DeMaio.
Mm-hmm.
If I find anything, I'll send it to you, Andrew. I'll take a look. Okay. I'll take a look and see.
The Newsweek article about Mel Gibson was 3 days ago, so it's still early in the process.
Yeah, they they make you jump through these legal hoops, so this is not going to be quick. But it's doable. It's doable.
He has to go, but when's his term up? In 26?
No, I think it's 28.
Oh,
That's when he's
Yeah,
going to run
he
for
wants to
president.
run.
We got 3 more years
You're right.
in this shit?
26.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell.
26
wants
is
to run
when
for president.
He's got to go.
if the recall goes through, then we could get him out potentially a year earlier.
Mhm.
And that would look really bad on his presidential run.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Trump will get way before.
He's not going to be able to run for president by then. Let me just say that.
no.
My gut tells me he might be in shackles, but hey, maybe I'm just wishing
There's nothing wrong with wishing. I'm okay with that.
and praying.
I like to.
Praying more
Yeah, I
than
mean,
anything.
you got to have a goal. Goals in life are okay.
Are important.
That's it.
I just have to ask for forgiveness because all my goals and prayers are please lock this person up. Please take this person down. I need to pray for some better stuff.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're pretty much at almost the top of the hour anyway. It's
This has been fun.
Yeah, this
been
has
a
been
long
fun.
half hour, hasn't it?
I know. Yeah,
No,
it's my
no,
fault.
no,
I was running late. I blame
John
you for
didn't
it, but
have
I think
chance to say anything. Sorry about that.
I just love seeing all you guys. I miss you.
yeah,
It's been fun.
yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all on camera, guys. Whoa, it's been a long
Well,
driving
I
all
appreciate
day.
all you guys coming on.
It's great. I
want to thank everybody that was out there in the
Thank
comments
you for bringing me
too.
up, folks. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Ladies, I always enjoy seeing your faces. You too, Lisa. And
Thank you to
Jennifer.
everybody in the chat too, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stormbringer is good.
Yeah.
Hey, these guys
Storm's
probably
a
already
man.
know. These probably already know, but Princess Raven on the YouTubes. Go check them out.
right.
Good people.
Yes.
Love what they do. Love what they do. Good stuff, guys. You guys putting out good music. That's really helping us Patriots keep things going, keeping the morale up. And so,
that's
Miss
what
Gefellner,
we're-
we're sorry you had to go through such a touching job interview.
Misha, 9
Uh,
p.m.
Hey, I liked it. That was a
Yeah.
good story.
John, what?
That was a good story.
Misha asked what time is it here in Brazil, and it's almost 9 p.m.
Oh,
Oh,
wow!
Lord.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, by the
We
way,
gotta
one more
keep
thing.
You know what? I ate
ate
Taco Bell and Kickback Jacks. I ate Taco Bell and Kickback Jacks. It's almost 7 p.m. over here.
All right.
Well,
Oh, on that note, I
we're
think we need to
60.
go.
oh, Cindy's music channel.
All righty, guys.
Okay, we'll see you guys
Catch you
later.
guys later.
See you later. Thank
See
you,
you next
everybody.
week.
Thank you.
All righty.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you next.
Bye.
Yep.
All right.